Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I completed this entire look in just 4 hours using a new game-changing product made specifically for boho braids. So grab your notes and let's get started. Today's video is brought to us by Ywigs.com. They sent us over 3 packs of their new Crochet 14-inch water wave. And I say new because these are quite different from your regular human hair crochet. First off, let me say this curl pattern is to die for, and the hair is so juicy and so soft. But here's what makes it different. The thread that ties the hair together is longer than the traditional one. So from what I understand, this is made specifically for boho braids. Not only is the thread longer, but it's much thinner. Like for example, this one I'm holding has about 5 or 6 strands in it. So if you are a braider, you know exactly what this means. Easy prep, less stress, less fuss, and we can get a whole lot more of that hair into a braid without it looking bulky. Everyone, welcome my model Jazz to the family. Y'all think we look alike? Let me know in the comments. And as always, the only products I use are from the Braided Beauty collection. Information about the hair we're using today and the products we're using will be listed in the description box below. Now let's get into this install. Now I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to install this hair, whether you're a professional or you're doing this yourself at home. First, you can see I started my braid, and now I'm going to add in my first piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it in at the top of where the first thread begins. I'm going to loop it down, and then I'm going to pull that piece out. Now all I have to do is continue braiding throughout the duration of that thread. When the thread is run out, then I'm going to pull the rest of that piece out. You will see as I'm moving along that the thread itself is virtually invisible. It runs about 3 or 4 inches in length. For this size braid, if I wanted to double or triple up the amount of hair I wanted to add, I could easily do that without it showing. So this is perfect for the girlies who want the boho hair but they don't want a whole lot of it, with the added bonus of being able to reuse the hair. Another added benefit is the hair will not slip and it will not shed, so she'll be able to manipulate this hair as much as she wants to without the risk of it falling out. For this particular style, I did close the braids off with a curly piece at the end. So you can see I started off by adding in a piece, pulling it out, and then I'm ending it with the other end of the piece at the end. To seal the ends, I'm going to continue braiding past where the thread ends, and then I'm going to gather all of the synthetic hair into one hand, separate it from the curly piece, and then seal it with my heated braid sealer. Once the synthetic hair falls off, then I just roll what's left into my fingers to mold it together, and then we have a sealed end. Now, like I said before, you can double or triple up the strands for more fullness, but I also want the curls to be more evenly distributed throughout the braid. So I'm going to show you how to double up the strands and evenly distribute them. As I get closer to the top of the head, at the top 3 rows specifically, I start at the root with a boho piece. So you see I started with one piece on one side, and then I'm going to start adding in my braiding hair. I only use 1 pack of braiding hair because whenever I'm doing boho styles, you don't need a whole lot of it. You just need the braiding hair to add structure. Once I get my braiding hair locked in, I'm not going to pull out the other end of that piece I added in. I'm going to add in another piece and make sure that the short end is sticking out. Now I have 2 pieces added in, but only 2 of the short ends are sticking out, and now I'm just going to continue braiding until I get to the other end of the thread on both of them, and then pull them out as I go. By this time I was adding in a total of 4 pieces to each braid, which ended up being about 8 pieces sticking out of the braid. Because of the way this hair is structured, it made the braiding process 10,000 times easier. I did not have to focus too much on tucking the thread because it just blended in seamlessly. Now you don't have to space yours out the way I spaced mine out. You can add way more hair here if you wanted to. The other great thing I cannot wait to try with this is with twists. We currently don't offer human hair add-on with our twists because we cannot guarantee the longevity of it, because twists loosen up over time and they don't hold the hair in as well. So I already know the way this hair is structured, it's going to hold in a twist and they'll be able to reuse the hair if they want to. Now the methods I just showed you are for integrating the hair in while you're braiding, but if you struggle with adding in human hair in general, I'm going to show you how to crochet it in. Now crocheting the hair through is actually pretty easy. You're just going to pull one side through the end and then you're going to hook the side down through the braid. You don't have to pull the whole crochet hook through the braid. I just kind of like wrap it around the braid with each pull through, if that makes sense. The thread is so thin, it doesn't matter how many times you pull it through, you're still not going to see it. The other great thing about this hair is that it will work also for any size, so large, small, medium, extra small. That's how thin this thread is. So you can add human hair to any style that you have, especially if you need to do it crochet style. Now this is just one method of crocheting the hair through, where you want one end coming out on each side. Let me show you how to double it up. So here I'm just filling in a gap at the end of one of the braids. Here's a prime example of how you can easily use this for smaller braids. I'm just going to pull the loop through in the middle, and then I'm going to crochet it all through together. So now you have both ends sticking out. We're just going to continue pulling that through the braid until the two ends come out at the end. So even if you want to just save some coins for some reusable hair, or maybe you just want to update an old existing style, it's great to have something like this on hand. And as a professional braider, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a full-blown game changer. It only took me 4 hours to do this complete style. So yeah, that completes today's video. As always, if you learned something new, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and tell a friend. Special thanks to our friends over at Ywigs for sponsoring today's video. Everything you need about this hair and the tools used in this video will be listed in the description box below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. And for more daily updates, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks so much for watching, you